backyard. I wanted to get something on file over that Kevin Owens deal, and 'cause I want to make sure everybody in the wrestling world knows that. And for you Carolina Panther fans, don't worry, there's another half. I don't know how much football you guys been watching lately, but there's been a lot of comebacks. So, step back, it's far from over. So, on today's topic again, I went live yesterday talking about the Kevin Owens deal. I saw recently that they were speculating for him to do a match with Undertaker. Now I'm going to rephrase and remind you of a lot of stuff I said. I said, point one, that gimmick that Kevin Owens / Kevin Steen uses looks like it spent about 5 minutes on the conference table by the WWE creative people. I know I said it. You heard it right here. That's exclusive. So, with that being said, now granted, they spend more time than the UFC does on their gimmicks. But that gimmick is very much backyardish, and it makes the wrestling business look real bad. So, you got that. Point number 2. Adrian Adonis, which wasn't exactly the most blessed cosmetic wrestler ever to exist, would wrestle without a shirt. We could count others. We're talking the Mulkey brothers did it. I don't have to remind you what Jim Cornette said about Bill Mulkey. That if he would have got sunburnt, he would have looked like a thermometer. So, on to point 3. Whenever the WWE does stuff like this, and Dean Ambrose, they make it look like they are endorsing the backyard. And that in itself is not good for the business. So, when you endorse the backyard, what you do is you give every parent who gets back a $3,500 tax return, it gives them a license to go out and buy a wrestling ring and try doing a real bad show. And that's all it is, because they don't got anybody from the old business to book the show when it comes off like a grade D movie. That's what happens. And because whenever the WWE does that, they're endorsing all that. Now granted, I ain't mentioning anybody's names, but there's a couple guys from North Carolina that WWE ran right after the Attitude Era, where they very much so came across like they were endorsing the backyard. So, you got that. You got a New Day gimmick that's questionable, but they're getting across, they're getting over as heels, so we're not really going to pick on them yet until they do something stupid. I do love the trombone deal because it's a tool to get heat, so I'm not really going to fault them on that. It's doing its job. Yes, it's a little bit circusy, but you know what? It's getting over. At least they're, but you know, wait a second there. At they have wrestling gear on, which is more than what I can say for Kevin Owens. So, I know we're in this millennial stage where you're supposed to feel sorry for the young bucks, and the young bucks, they go and cry mama and dad all the time. That's right, I said it. There's more indie wrestlers that yell out mama and dad because they ain't fit for the business in any other time in our business. So with that being said, oh, by the way, did you see that AAW video that came across with the guy stealing Cesaro's move on Facebook last night? I believe it was on Q-Ball Carmichael's page that I just hammered the crap out of. I ain't endorsing that. First off, he stole a move, and then he made it look worse. It's terrible. That's bad booking. So, that's right. You heard it here. I don't endorse that stuff. So, with that being said, you got all this going down. Plus, oh yeah, by the way, has the half started yet? I'm too busy running my own show to be watching the Panther game. I just think, and I am the internet. It's been documented. Follow my WordPress blog. It's everywhere. I am the internet. I'm on WordPress. I'm on Twitter. 2 accounts on Twitter. Facebook, almost 5,000 strong. Only reason why I don't create a professional page is too many idiots in the independent wrestling business go out and create a professional page when they haven't done nothing. So I don't do that. I don't believe in that. If I ever did anything really big, then I'll create a professional page. Until then, it's a waste of time. I'll create a ribbon professional page like I did the WWE. Please send peyote to the WWE creative team. But until then, no. So I'm just sitting back here. I just started to go out here and just cut one real fast. Just because that's just the kind of guy I am. I'm sitting back just waiting on the Seattle Seahawks. I'm predicting an overtime win for the Seattle Seahawks today. I mean, it's just an old trick that Harley Race or Ric Flair used to do. You go out there and you put the other guy over for 60 or 70% of the match, and then you hit him with the surprise finish. Flair did it against Vader, 2016 Hall of Famer, and Big Van Vader. He did it. Hit him with the nut shot, and then hit him with the schoolboy. It's basically the same thing today. It's going to happen the same way today. That's right. You heard it here first. This game is far from over. So, I noticed I'm getting close up to 100 views. We've only been doing this brief couple of days, but I will talk on anything, anytime, anywhere. When it gets closer to the election, I may shift gears a little bit, just because that's just the kind of guy I am, even though Alex Jones is handling all this, which he's my kind of guy. So, Alex Jones is the alternative media version of a wrestling heel. You gotta love the guy. Texas born. So I just can't wait for those Seattle Seahawks to take the lead so I can go live. So alright, back to the Kevin Owens deal. When Vince McMahon does that, and you're going to hear a big old spill out of me in a couple of days where Vince is Dana White's job boy, because he absolutely loves losing the pay-per-view battle. But I don't want to get into that too far, but I'm going to hit y'all with about 15 minutes here real fast just to give y'all a spill. That way this interview's easy to listen to. So, when WWE does this, they are co-signing the backyard. They are endorsing the backyard. They saying it's all right. Now, I'm going to give credit where credit's due. I understand you got to start somewhere. I'm not banging that. But whenever your whole career is based on the backyard, no. Time to get around somebody, anybody that is from the old business, because the old business knows how to handle the business right. That's how come I'm always checking Chris Romero stuff, Billy Jack Haynes stuff, which Chris Romero / Youngboy is the one that broke me in. And then I got help along the way by Bill Mulkey and Chad Bird and some guys down in Florida. But don't endorse anything like that. Now granted, I know right now, because a lot of independent wrestling is like as seen on TV wrestling all across the country. They're stealing spots. The indies are stealing spots. They're more or less doing almost the exact same spots that are getting done on TV. And then they're calling it their own. AJ Styles' moves been stole by some guys in Kentucky that actually bragged about it to me. So I don't co-sign that either. Get creative. Come up with your own stuff. Take the basic moves. The hip toss, arm drag, slam, clothesline, drop kick, and do your own stuff with it. If you're really good in the business to begin with, you can take something that one guy's good at and go out there and get the guy over in the match. It's that simple. You don't have to go out and reinvent the wheel. It's not that hard. And I'm not the only one that's ever said that either. So, anyway. So basically what the message is WWE's co-signing the backyard with Kevin Owens. And now they're going to put him on top at WrestleMania and let him book the real Mr. WrestleMania, The Undertaker. And if they put him over in it, in the WrestleMania against Undertaker, it should go over. I mean, it's going to send a bad vibe. Now, granted, he's probably going to get to go over because Bray Wyatt and his fanatics of his social media stuff, because the psychology behind Bray Wyatt is Bray Wyatt was going to originally be the guy that takes over the Undertaker's spot. But however, if you ever watched Taker on any of his UFC interviews, he really doesn't come out of character that much. He doesn't come out of character at all. In other words, and I'm not the only one that said this, the Taker that wrestles is the Taker that you see on the street. So, when Bray started doing all his sentimental stuff a couple years back, and then he went out and laid that egg against John Cena in the WrestleMania, it hurt his marketability. It hurt WWE's believability. So in turn, they're trying to find somebody to put in his place temporarily. So, in all actuality, that Bray Wyatt deal match, whenever The Undertaker decides to pass the torch, it ought to go to Bray Wyatt. But Bray Wyatt's got to get his crap together first, off the set, off camera, before they can fully say, okay, the show's yours, here, run with it. They can't do that. I know that's a lot to take in at once, but that's just the way how the business is. The way the business is. Bray Wyatt's got to almost be the guy who takes the Taker's place. So, that's enough out of me until I'm going to go check the scores on the games, and I will hit you back either live or with another taping later on tonight. Oh yeah, I forgot. Don't forget what I said about Vince being Dana White's little job boy. Did y'all ever hear stories about Vince having an ass play couch where him and Shawn Michaels messed around? There was a rumor that I actually heard about it up in Terre Haute, Indiana. That there was now, granted, there's a lot of gorilla monsoon rats up there, and there was a rumor of Vince having an ass play couch up in his office in Stamford, Connecticut, in the Titan Towers. That's crazy, ain't it? The whole Skull and Bones thing, which the WWE isn't part of. There was very much some sexual favors being done to get over it, the way how it sounds. But I'll be back on that.